Hello, this is Chiak. We are back again.
Dear
Wow,
George,
the music is
so
very
much
loud,
for
so I'm
my
just gonna have to
Wisconsin ski
turn it
vacation. I arrived here at Wickford Castle
Uh,
last night, just before a blizzard swept in. The mountain is completely shut down, and the surrounding roads are closed. I think I'm one of the few guests who
Okay.
made it.
So let's start a new game here.
Hi there, it's me, Nancy Drew. You're just in time for my latest mystery, Treasure in the Royal Tower. Choose your difficulty level to start off. If you're new to adventure games, you might want to click the tutorial button first for a few tips on how to play the game.
Okay, so obviously by this screen, this is I believe the 4th game in the franchise, and as you can see, it was very different back then. So we're going to go with Senior.
Dear George, so much for my Wisconsin ski vacation. I arrived here at Wickford Castle last night, just before a blizzard swept in. The mountain is completely shut down, and the surrounding roads are closed. I think I'm one of the few guests who made it to the castle at all. The place is huge and old, and slightly creepy under the circumstances. You should hear this wind. What's more, the owner, Christy Lane, my father's friend, is away on business. I tried to ask the caretaker, Dexter Egan, how I could contact her, but he said he didn't know. Doesn't that seem odd? I couldn't help feeling like there was something he wasn't telling me. All this makes me a little nervous, but I'm determined to enjoy myself. After all, this is a vacation, right? I have big plans to explore the castle. That Ezra Wickford, the original owner, must have been quite a character to have built such an extraordinary place. It's filled with strange, dead-end corridors, for one thing. And I noticed one of the towers is totally different from the other ones. Of course, I'll have to save some time to meet Jacques Brunet, the French ski instructor. Tell Bess she'll be the first to know if he's half as gorgeous in person as he looks on his website. So, George, I guess things never quite go according to plan, but at least this time, the culprit is just a snowstorm. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
Now all I need is a mailbox.
Okay, wow, this is... I have played this game before, but we might as well consider this blind since I don't remember anything. That's our key card. Oh, wow. Everything's so old. Locker. That's our locker combination, I guess. 310, 517. Probably gonna have to come back to that later. What is that bubbling sound? Wickford Castle. We can't actually... Oh no, I think we can. Welcome to Wickford Castle. In 1920, Ezra Wickford, the inventor of chocolate milk, dreamed of building a castle like no other. The project took 7 years, 132 carpenters, and millions of dollars. But by the time it was done, Wickford Castle had become an architectural marvel. Then in 1945, Wickford mysteriously locked himself away in the castle and allowed the place to fall into a state of decline. After Wickford's death, the castle was closed down for many years, its fate unknown, until it was finally inherited and reopened by his great-niece, Christy Lane, in 1990. Now it is one of the most popular vacation resorts in the Midwest. What to do while you're here? Lose yourself in the castle. The castle is a maze of corridors, and some of them lead nowhere. No one knows why Ezra included those dead ends in his castle design, but everyone agrees he must have quite an imagination. Learn the story of the 18th century French tower. During his travels in France, Wickford became so enchanted with the Chateau Rochemont that he bought the castle's grand tower and had it built onto this castle in 1924. Few people have ever seen the inside of the tower because Mr. Wickford kept it sealed off. The tower is still closed, but in the coming months, Christy Lane plans to open it up to guests and offer guided tours. Okay. Miss Lane also plans to restore the vintage 1920s elevator in its original condition. Miss Lane is grateful to the Wisconsin Historical Foundation for their support in this project. Visit the library. Also while in France, Wickford acquired the majestic library and many of its contents from the estate of Jean Le Boeuf. The room is filled with antique books, both French and English. It's worth a visit just to see Marcel Bonnet's famous portrait of Marie Antoinette, which was imported from the Chateau Rochemont. Outdoor attractions were located just at the foot of scenic Butter Ridge. In the winter months, guests enjoy skiing on some of the best groomed slopes in the Midwest. In the warmer months, guests love to hike to Butter Love's Lake. The mountain fields are covered with the region's magnificent wildflowers. Look for lady slippers, skunt cabbage, black-eyed Susans, butterfly weed, devil's paintbrush, toadflax, and more. No matter how you spend your time at Wickford Castle, you're bound to have an adventure. Wow. It's really noisy in this, how do I feel like I need to take this tutorial just to... Oh, that's the time. So right now it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. Where is the back button? Oh, I think I did it. Man, this is very... Okay, I need to close it first before I even think about... Seeing if there's anything I can grab first. So this game is so old that... Interesting. This game is so old that I have to use OBS to record this because Fraps won't even recognize it at all. So usually, if I was recording with this Fraps, I know for a fact... That's how to set the time alarm. Okay, good to know.
Sounds like the radiator is broken.
Okay, so that's what's making all that noise. But if I was recording this as Fraps, I know for a fact that this game will come out as 800, a resolution of 800 by 600. Because I'm using OBS and it's basically recording the monitor, this game is going to be nicely in 1920 1080. A sassy detective. Full results. Oopsies. Assuming... Okay, so these are some things that are going to be coming in later. So I don't think I need to do it quite now. Okay, let's go for our first objective. Is that not the door? This is the door. But I can already feel how clunky this game feels. Oh, I think I missed it. In terms of the controls. If I were to compare it to previous Nancy Drew titles. Wow, I'm lost. I was going the right way, it looks like. Or I missed it again. So we're looking for a mailbox. What's that? Can you handle the view? Wisconsin. The Pierre Chateau. Peppercliff Farms. Well, we're stuck inside anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Man, if there's a skiing portion of this game, you already know how terrible I am at driving at Nancy Drew games, if you do know. Oh, there's someone there.
Hello, Miss Drew. Did you get squared away upstairs?
All square. I just need a stamp to send this letter, and then I'll be off to explore the castle.
Well, I can take your letter, but the mail's not going anywhere for a while. It's snowing like there's no tomorrow out there. So explore all you want. Take the grand tour. But forget about the library. It's off limits.
Sounds like you mean business, Mr. Egan. What happened? Too many overdue books?
Someone vandalized our historic library. Really turned the place upside down. The owner, Miss Lane, she's gonna be pretty upset.
Why would anyone want to vandalize the library?
I have no idea. I straightened up in there before check-in yesterday and everything was fine. Now it looks like a bomb went off. Books everywhere, and somebody hacked a big hole in one of the walls. I locked the place up and called the police, but who knows when they'll be able to get here.
Wow, a hole in the wall? What do you think they were looking for?
I can't tell, but somebody's definitely after something.
How do you know?
Well, this Professor Hotchkiss just called me in a terrible flap, saying our room's been robbed. I went up there, but she wouldn't open the door to talk about it. Wouldn't even tell me what was missing. So what's she want me to do about it?
Okay.
What strange behavior. I'm curious. I wonder if she might open the door to talk to me.
Well, Hotchkiss has a pair of ski boots in the basement. The Frenchman's been working on them for her, but he won't deliver them. Says he's a ski instructor, not a bellhop. I hate to ask this, but if you could grab those boots and bring them up to her, it might smooth her feathers. Sure would smooth mine.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
I
Bye,
have
kiddo.
to say, even the voice acting in this game sounds quite different. It's... How's the best way to describe it? To me, it almost seems like it almost doesn't sound like Nancy Drew is talking to him per se, or like the conversation flow between them seems awkward. Like you can tell... Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so anyway, major figures and events of the French Revolution. The storming of the Bastille. On July 14th, 1789, an angry Parisian mob stormed and captured the old royal prison known as the Bastille. The mob was looking for weapons and ammunition. The governor was killed. The 7 inmates, none of them political prisoners, were freed. After the prison was overthrown, its thick walls were torn down. When told what had taken place, King Louis... Oh, wow. I don't even know what that number is. That's a 10. The 16th? King Louis the 16th? I'm hoping that's the 16th. Exclaimed, "Why, this is a revolt." "No, sire," was the reply. It is a revolution. And indeed, this first outbreak of violence marked the true beginning of the revolution. After July 14th, there was no going back. The mob who participated in the takeover later became known as Les Vainqueurs de la Bastille. I clearly can't speak French. Jean Le Boeuf. 1768-1812. Born to peasant farmers, Jean Le Boeuf... Man, I feel like I'm going to get so raked over the coals on how to say this last name. Became one of the commanders of the French Revolutionary Army at the age of 22. He is best known for foiling Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette's attempt to escape Paris in June 1791. After hearing rumors of their planned escape, Le Boeuf organized troops to intercept the fleeing royal couple. The king and queen were captured at Varennes, I think that's how you say it, and escorted back to Paris as prisoners. The monarchy was finally overthrown less than 14 months later. Le Boeuf later became a general under Napoleon Bonaparte and a member of the new French aristocracy. He amassed great wealth and built a beautiful chateau that became known throughout the French upper class for its splendid library. They both died in the War of 1812. Ironically, the great general was not killed by enemy soldiers, but by food poisoning that resulted from eating a can of rancid beef. The chateau remained in his name until 1920s, when his then impoverished family was forced to sell off the estate. Oh, this is book. Did I read book 2? I read book 2. This is book 1. Marie Antoinette. Born in Vienna, Austria on November 2nd, 1755, she was the youngest daughter of Francis I and Maria Theresa, Emperor and Empress of the Holy Roman Empire. In 1770, as a young teenager, she was obliged to wed Louis XVI of France to symbolize an alliance between France and her parents' dynasty, the Habsburgs of Austria. 4 years later, Marie Antoinette became Queen of France when her husband was crowned King Louis XVI. I really hope this is number 16, because otherwise I've been saying it wrong the entire time. As queen, her lavish lifestyle made her unpopular. While the commoners stood in bread lines praying for food, they cursed the queen who was living so comfortably in her grand palace. The people's discontent grew and grew until a full-scale revolution broke out in 1789. In 1791, it looked like the monarchy would not survive, and Marie sought assistance from other European rulers. It was arranged for the king and queen to escape Paris on the night of June 20th, but revolutionary forces apprehended the royal couple at Varennes on June 25th and escorted them back to Paris as prisoners. On August 10, 1792, the monarchy was finally overthrown. Marie Antoinette spent the rest of her life in Parisian prisons. Louis XVI was executed on orders from the National Convention in January 1793, and in August the Queen was put in solitary confinement in the Conciergerie. Marie Antoinette was brought before the Revolutionary Tribunal on October 14, 1793, and guillotined 2 days later. She was executed without proof of the crimes for which she was accused. The guillotines. It is uncertain who actually invented the guillotine, but we do know that it was named after Dr. Joseph Guillotine, who recommended its use to the National Assembly in France in 1789 as the most humane and efficient form of capital punishment. A guillotine similar to this one was used to behead thousands, including Marie Antoinette, during the French Revolution. Okay, with that, I'm going to actually end the set here. A little bit of French history. And then we're assuming we're going to talk to this ski instructor woman. Interesting. So we put our... and then she puts it down as if we're paying attention to her. Either way, thank you for liking if you like. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribe. Thank you for favoriting if you favorited. And thank you for simply clicking on this video. And until next time, guys, see ya!